Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be going over the Count Areas tool in the Verisens software. If you go here to the Check Features tab, go to Add, go to Feature Comparison, and then down here at the bottom you're going to have something called Count Areas. You double click that, and what this tool is going to let you do is count the number of blobs of black or white within a user-defined area. So we're going to draw, an area like this, and then Um, let's see here. So let's say that's our area, and then it's going to find the number of in this case, black blobs within this area. So in this case, we have 5, and you can see those are marked by the X's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these other areas, you might be asking, why aren't those counted? We'll get to that in a second. It's also dependent on the features down here, particularly this area filter. And this area filter is going to set up specifications for the blobs that it has to be within this range right here. Otherwise, it doesn't count it. So if we bring this down here, you can see that suddenly these are counted. This is going by the size of the blob. So in this case, anything between 34 pixels and 116 pixel size blobs are going to be counted. If we increase this, you can see that these are now not counted because they're less than 53 pixels. But again, if we bring this threshold down, now they're all counted and we have 8 blobs total. We can reteach that. You can see here the threshold is 1 red bar here, but it's actually made up of 2 bars. One is the minimum, one's the maximum. They just happen to be on the same number right now. So for this tool to pass right now, you'd have to have exactly 8 blobs, no more, no less. If you were to drag this out, you can see that there's actually 2. There's an upper and lower limit, and you can drag that out to create an acceptable range. So now anything between 3 and 24 blobs is going to pass. You can play around with that and do whatever you need to for your application. Going down here to the binary threshold, this is very similar to the area size tool. So in this case, we're looking for dark blobs. So anything below this threshold is going to be considered a dark blob. Anything above is not going to be. So you can play around with this. You can see if we bring it way down, these 2 are now not being detected as blobs anymore because some of these, pixels around the really dark areas, if we zoom in, you can see that now only this orange area is considered a blob and not the surrounding area. If we increase this threshold, you can see some of those pixels starting to fill in. And that's because if we bring this way down, only the very, very darkest pixels are considered part of the blob. And if we bring this up, then more are considered black blobs. If we flip this around to bright on dark, now we're looking for white blobs. In this case, we're getting 0. And remember, a blob is a continuous area, so we should be getting 1 blob, 1 big white blob. And the reason we're not is because, remember the area filter, it's only looking for blobs that are up to 116 pixels, and this is going to be much larger. So we can increase this to now. Now it picks up 1 big white blob, and you can see this is reflected right here. Now we have 1. Now we can teach that in. So now 1 is acceptable. Now, the interesting thing is that we can also get rid of all blobs that are touching the edges. And the way we can do that is with this exclude truncated areas. A truncated area is an area or a blob that has some of the pixels touching one of the edges. So it's not completely enclosed. So if we click that, we're going to go back to 0 blobs. And the reason for that is, one second here. The reason for that is because the white blob is touching the edges. If we go back to the dark, so now we're looking for dark blobs, you can see now we only have 5 blobs. And the reason these are not counted is because we are excluding truncated areas. If we unclick that, now you can see they're being counted for a total of 8 areas, for a total of 5 areas. And that's because the truncated areas are not being counted anymore if you click this button. The only other thing here really left to cover is the reference area. Again, this reference area, typically you wouldn't use it unless your lighting is changing. So let's say you take an image and sometimes you get more light on the image than other times. That's when you would use this reference area. Basically train it on a part of the image that should stay constant color, and then it'll adjust this binary threshold accordingly. So if the image gets more light, this threshold will increase or decrease. Similarly, if it gets less light. So it's kind of adaptive in that sense, which is nice. But typically I don't use that. So again, you can change your area from a circle to a rectangle to different types of shapes. And you can also track the position based on a previous search tool so that this area will move around with your search tool. So let's say you're fixtured on a part and your part moves a little bit to the right on the next image, this will move with it, which is really nice. And that's really all the features to cover on this tool.